All right, we recording.
Hercules.
Uh, What is this on my computer? No, I don't want to know more about this. Get out of here. Oh my god, they made me click learn more to get rid of this thing. I'm just gonna hit the intro music. We have no topics. We're gonna
Nah.
Actually, I thought of a topic. Cause you know I'm in a relationship, and a lot of what I've learned about women is coming in handy. A lot of what I learned about relationships is coming in handy. So yeah, we're gonna talk about things that we've learned about the opposite sex, because we date the opposite sex. Now, if you learn something about the same sex, then that's that's your thing. I'm curious to see what you've learned, but we'll get into a couple things. We'll see. Let's let the music.
It won't be good.
I'll be there.
Oh, yo, these tax tariffs Donald Trump is putting in place. 25% tariff on cars made outside of the U.S.
Now,
Thankfully, a lot of these companies do have factories here, and thankfully, by the grace of God, even though I got to put 1,600 into my car this week.
I'll be there.
Oh my God.
I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't need a new car. I mean, all things considered, I got a brand new 2015 car in 2015. God blessed me with a car. Someone even prayed for me at the lot.
It's 10 years.
Yeah, it's paid for. The only major issue I ever had was an engine recall, because my engine actually was fine. I went in for an oil change, and they did something else and it jacked it up. But I got a brand new engine in like 2020 or maybe 21, whenever that was. So this repair, my AC wasn't cooling as quickly as it should have. And I didn't, and so the summer's coming. I was like, you know what? Let me just have them look at it. Looked at it. They're like, oh, you need a switch. The switch was like 800. Then the oil changes. Oil changes are expensive. That's like 80.
Yeah.
So they hit me with like a stack. I need a spare tire too. I tried to get a spare tire kit, but they were trying to charge me $350 for that, and I'm like, absolutely not. Well, part came in. They tested my car. He said AC was fine, 40 degrees, nice and chilly. But then he said after a while it got hot. Stopped cooling. Didn't know why. Tested it again. Went back and looked at everything. The actual compressor went out. So my AC compressor went out. 10 years. You know what I'm saying? It went out, so I can't really be mad. So they're like, yeah, you need a new compressor. That's going to be another $600. We'll eat the labor, but you need the part. I was like, go ahead and do it. And that's why I thank God. Here, world, here, what did it do? Here, world, here, world, here, what did it do? Here, world. Because there was a time where I would have been like, how am I going to pay for this? How am I going to figure this out? And this is not one of those times. Like, I ain't rich, but I can budget and do what I need to do to pay for it, which is what's happening. And I'm going to have AC. So I ain't mad. My car has not cost me a lot of money in repairs since I bought it. In 10 years, again, this is the most expensive thing I've ever paid for on it. Can't really be mad at that, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, and it's happening before it gets too hot, too. So I'll have my car back this weekend. You look sick.
I do, yeah.
Well,
Because I remember my first car, Earl, because, it was a little too.
you just called your first car. Did you name your first? Wait a minute.
Yeah,
I'll be damned.
my first car, its name was Earl because it reminded me of an old man because it was a 2003 Toyota Prius. So it was like first
That is
generation hybrid.
1000% an old man. Hold up.
I'll
And
be damned. I'll be damned.
I had it in I had it in 2018. So my senior year of high school, everybody's pulling up to school and everything. I'm pulling up with my little CDs playing. And
Oh, you had a
it's
car
just-
though in high school. I
Yeah,
didn't get a car
I
until my sophomore year in college. Go
I
ahead.
had to beg for that one, and I think they paid like maybe like 900 or 1,000 like flat. My parents paid for it because they were like, yeah, you ain't getting nothing because I had a sweet 16. So my dad really was putting his foot down on me. It was his little revenge. So he said, nope, you're gonna get this jalopy and you're gonna be happy. So
Not a jalopy.
I remember it died on me with me and all my brothers
I'll
on the
be
way
damned.
back from graduation on a back road.
I'll be damned.
And the car
After
was-
graduation?
Yeah,
Your
right after
graduation?
graduation. Yes.
I'll be damned. I'll be damned. I'll be damned. I'll be damned.
We were coming around because Jiffy Lube Live, right? So we were coming on this back road, and I had my brothers drive with me because I was like, yeah, they gonna ride with me, da 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 da. We gonna get crank and everything. Car gave out, and the car was programmed in Spanish.
What?
It was programmed in Spanish, so like it had a little touch screen. I couldn't change it back to English.
I'll be damned.
So when the entire dash lit up, and then the flashing on the touchscreen said emergency, and it stalled on the road. I said, oh no.
Wow.
Yeah, and so we had to sit there. I had to sit there and keep jingling it and everything. We got it back to good. And then I remember I was driving my mom because my mom had surgery that summer. And I just came back from orientation from VCU, and I had my brothers in the car and everything. We're driving up the hill into the neighborhood, and it dies out on us again. I said, uphill? I said, we're going to go back. I said,
No, if you hit the brakes.
so I'm just sitting there because I'm like,
Oh my God.
We're like, all right. We was like, we 3 blocks away from the house. We go make it work. I think it was like, yeah, it was June when this happened. And then my dad was like, you're done. You don't even need a car because you're going to Richmond. You don't need a car. It's a city school. You don't need nothing. Because lo and behold, the issue with it was 2 engines. Because it had the hybrid engine and then the regular hybrid engine. They said, yeah, that engine died. It's going to run y'all about 5K. And my dad said, it's going to run who 5K? Because we only paid like 1,000 top for this car.
Yeah.
So he,
wow. What year was it?
2003 in 2018.
And the
I was
engine
driving-
died.
The engine died. And I love Toyota because
That's crazy.
they last such a long time.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, I was so hurt.
I'd been hurt too.
Yeah, and I remember we cleaned my car out, and then we were gonna take it to CarMax, see if they could get some money from it, everything like that.
Absolutely
And I
not.
said, we're gonna drive Earl one last time. We turn out off of our street, and it's me and my dad because it's a sentimental moment for me. I'm like, this is my car, my baby. I said,
Yeah.
it's ugly, but this is my baby.
Yeah.
I turn out the street, our neighborhood street, and we have to do like a intersection in a way, but it's like ongoing traffic 24/7, and they be flying. Oh my gosh. I go to the median, I look the other way to make sure I can cross. Cars are flying. We turn, me and
Oh
my
yeah,
dad,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
it dies on me downhill. Oh my god.
At least you had momentum.
We had momentum, but my dad was like, no. He said, put it in neutral. We had to get out the car. We had to push it across the street. I was sitting there holding it while he's like pushing the car with my brother. That was and
I'll
then
be damned.
I think I have a video of him basically getting the tow truck so that he could donate it for parts. And I just took a video of that tow guy. He just put the chains all up on my baby and just drove him off into the sunset.
Get this old pile of bones out of here.
Yeah, basically they said we're gonna use him for scraps. We're gonna melt him down, make some bangles out of him.
Yeah, they got some good scraps though. They got some good scraps. Them hybrid car parts, fetch you a pretty penny. I think some plutonium in there or something.
Yeah, that's why I said with this car, my car Burgundy that I got now, I said, girl, you die on me.
This your second car?
This is my second car.
What is it now? What do you have now?
It's a Nissan Kicks. It's a Nissan
I
Kicks.
should know what that looks like, but I don't in my head.
Oh, I can send you a picture.
No, it's fine. I'll Google it.
It makes me so irritated too that Nissan decided that they're gonna re-release the Nissan Kicks this year and make it all fancy and bigger. I said, hold on. I said, y'all gave me the hatchback stock model.
Wait, what year is yours?
Got nothing. It's a 2018. It's basic, just straight stock model. I have this little hatchback.
Yo, you look like you.
Okay, but mine. Okay.
What color is yours?
Mine is black, but I named her Burgundy, and I know.
I'll be damned.
The name just came to me, and also I have a little. So I had a Happy Meal one day, and they had like the little Mario Kart toys. Why I get Toad? So I have Toad.
Stop right there. Why are you getting a Happy Meal as a grown ass woman?
I like it. I like it a lot. It is just the right amount of food for me sometimes. And you get a little toy.
I'll be damned.
Go ahead, yo. I'm gonna let you live.
And let me cook. But
no. No. Fucking Happy Meal. You yo, go ahead, yo.
I do this right. I do it when we pregame for going out too. I'll get a Happy Meal. But Happy Meal is some Don Julio. Go crazy. But so I have Toad in his little Mario Kart in his little cart glued to my dash. So that's the first thing that you see when you see my card is Toad in his own little cart. And Toad, he just be screaming. He don't even talk. He just be screaming. And I'm like, I get with that because when I get on 95, I be screaming too because I'm just like, dang. I was like, it's just chaos. So I have Toad. I have a little rack on my car to make it. I always say it's like we gonna push this like it's SRT, make it go fast, make it go zoom zoom. I do want to do other stuff to it, but yeah, she's just gonna be my little experimental car because she's ugly, but I love her.
Yo, cars. I understand the sentimental value. I am on my 4th.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm on my 4th car. My first car was a 1991 Mercury Cougar. Shout out to my dad's friend, Miss Greer. Got that in 2004-ish, 2005. My dad bought off his friend for $100. I got that. Yeah. I drove that jump from New Jersey back to South Carolina. That's about a 6-7 hour drive, whatnot. Put a CD player in it. Got it painted, put the new, because the Mercury Cougar, like that was like over the back seat. Not the back seat, but like the rear of the car. The rear of the roof of the car was leather. It had the leather glove on it. So I had to
Cougar.
So I got.
I'll be damned.
So I got that painted. So I put about $1,500 maybe, or maybe it wasn't $1,500. Maybe it was close to $1,000 into that car that summer. Busting my ass working at Michelin, getting my fingers stabbed by tire wires, and flipping pizzas at Little Caesars, only for me to get back to school and my engine die. Took it to a dealer. My dad tried to get it fixed, but one of the mechanics pulled me to the side. He was like, yo, man, he's just trying to make a profit off of you. Like, he could get a brand new rebuilt engine, but he keeps getting these junkyard engines, trying to throw them in there just to force them to work. So my dad was like, no, just sell it. So I sold it to one of my uncle's friends. My dad happened to have 2 cars at the time, so he gave me the other car, which was a Suzuki Forenza.
I wanted a Suzuki so bad.
So my friends named it Key Lime. I didn't want to call it that, but it was that green color.
That's cute.
That's like, yeah, exactly. A grown ass noob. I don't want a car called Key Lime. Okay,
That's cute.
I don't want to be. I don't want to be associated with cute. That car did very.
Rob and Lime?
That car did very well. I paid it off shortly after college. I lied. Maybe like a year or 2 after college. Paid it off. And I would say about 3 or 4 months after paying it off, I got in a total loss car accident. Somebody ran a light and hit me. And I just
Oh,
put a new thermostat in there because it kept saying it was running hot. Like, it was doing fine. Like, I was fine with the car. Had little rims on it because one time I bent one of my rims because, when you're young, you be hitting shit. And I got hooked up on some
they
nice little
jump out.
rims. Yeah, like, it was cool. Like, my car was cool. I had no issues. Somebody hit me, killed it.
Mm.
Then that's when I got the BMW. I don't remember what BMW model I had, but it was like a 2002 or something like that, and it was sexy. And that was the first car I had that was like pretty much fully loaded, like had heated seats, it had power seats,
That grown
sunroof,
car.
leather, the way that engine purred, the steering wheel. You ever drove a BMW? Oh my god.
No, my
Listen,
dad never let me.
it was an experience, but it started having issues. And then just the repairs, like that was before car dealers do this thing now where they're like, hey, we're gonna charge you this just to look at your car and tell you what's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they were already there back then. They're like, oh, something's wrong with your car? Yeah, bring it in. That'll be $150 and then we'll tell you what's wrong. Nigga,
It's
what?
the diagnostics test.
No, not even just, yeah, pretty much. Like, I'm like, dang. So I just kept having problems. Like, the issue I was having was they said it was the brake booster, but the problem was I would get to like lights and I would stop the car and it would cut off. Now, this ain't the auto start stop. This is before that technology. It was cutting off. And I'm like, yo, I need a reliable car. And that's when I was about to start doing real estate. I went to the I went to the Kia dealership because, Stokes Kia in Goose Creek. The commercials kept coming on. They kept talking about these deals. I went there. I said, look, this is what I got. This is what I'm trying to do. And once I drove that BMW up to that dealership, they never let me drive anything else. Oh no, they never let me drive it again. He gave me a base model, Kia Optima, and he was like, "Here, I'll see you tomorrow." I said, "Dude, I gotta go to work. It's gonna be late." He's like, "No, take it. You're fine." I drove it. It was cool. Came back. I was like, "Look, man, my BMW had all the bells and whistles." I was like, "You gave me a base model. I appreciate it." I was like, "I need the bells and whistles." And I got I got the one that was like maybe 2 tiers below the top model, but my car has power, everything, leather seats, heated cool seats, sunroof, all that good stuff. Bought that car in December of 2015 as a birthday gift to myself and as a struggle gift to myself. And we've been rolling ever since. So that is my car journey. Yeah, you're in a nice phase. You're in a nice, okay, this is my baby. What do I want to do to it? Do I want to hook it up?
I'm doing stupid stuff to it, but yeah.
Oh, I in my head, I wanted to get a car and do a lot of, I wanted the '03 Mustang GT, and I wanted to put pipes on it and just be loud and ignorant. No, not anymore.
No, that's what I want to do to my Nissan Kicks, and my dad tells me shut up because I said no. Like I want to put loud exhaust on everything and pull up to them Woodbridge car meets, be like, "Hello."
I'll be damned. I'll be damned.
I will say this: it's worth it if you truly plan on keeping the car.
I do. Because my parents, they asked me what I was going to do because I wanted to treat myself to a new car when I turned 30. And I was like,
how old are you?
Miles, I'm 24.
Okay, that's good. Trump would be out of office and maybe these tariffs will be gone. Because buying a car right now, I feel bad for anybody buying a car right now.
And I bought my car when he was still in office or when he had finally transitioned out of office. And I was like, brother, I was like, the used car market was trash back then because I was looking at a Kia Sportage and that was the car I really wanted.
My girlfriend has that car. That's a nice ass car.
Yeah. And I was like, I wanted that Kia Sportage because I was like, if I get this, I'm set. I won't need a car for like another 10 plus years because I was like, I wanted a car that would last me through like my adult years and stuff like that. No. And then I was hooked on that stupid Kona. I wanted that Kona so bad, but it embarrassed me. When I test drove it, it embarrassed me so bad. My parents were like, "You were driving all shaky." I was like, I'm sorry, but the wheel's too small. I don't know what to tell you. And then I tried the newer version of the Nissan Kicks with this guy. He wouldn't just shut up. I don't like when you test drive and they just be all up in the back seat or in the passenger seat, reaching over, trying to press all the buttons. I was like, I just want to drive it just to see if I'm comfortable. But he was doing all that, and the newer Nissan Kicks, they're tiny. I was like, they're tiny, man. I said, I can't even fit an IKEA table up in here. You know, them tables, they break down, I don't know how many different ways. This one right here, stock base model, it's a little ugly. And yeah,
She talking about it a little ugly.
I'll be damned.
that girl need to be swapped out. I said, I already knew I needed to get new wheels because when I went to go get it inspected, the guy kept staring at it. I said, I said, brother, just let it pass. I said, just give it the green light, okay? So
the inspections.
I'm, you know, and I already have my eye on my dream car.
Which
I saw it a couple of months ago. Oh my gosh. I think my aunt has this car, truly. It's a BMW. I think it's the M series. Is that what it's called? Or something like that?
The M's are V8s or V6s?
It's V6.
Okay.
It's a V6, but oh my gosh, I went with my dad because my dad, he's really big into cars. And you know, that's what he does is he buys them and then he makes them all types of crazy and then he sells them because then he gets bored. So that's what he does. He likes to modify them and then sell them off to somebody and it's already souped up, ready to go to car meets, go to car shows, and he likes to just do that. He should just get a garage, honestly, and just do that for people. Just pay to like modify stuff. But we went because he was looking at a car that he was contemplating, and I saw it, and it was white, but it had the crimson leather seats, and I said blood red seats. It had the roof back and everything because it was a convertible, and I was like, oh my God. I said, oh my gosh. I said, now that right there. I said, you see me in that? Brother, oh my God.
Oh, wait, you said a convertible?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's 6 figures.
Because it peeled all the way back. So I said, why would they have this just sitting here?
That's 6 figures. How much was it?
Oh my God. I think it was like... I refuse to look at the price tag, but it was between like the 80. It was like 80K. I saw it and I said, "Dang!" I said, "What interest rate is that?"
Yo.
I said, "How?"
Is it the 2-seater?
Let me see. I think it was because it was a 2-door. And I said, oh, yeah.
Oh, Carvana got some deals. Well, I'm going to tell you this, and I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this. Oh, you might be... What the heck? Hold on now. Some of these... Yeah, this is scaring me. I'm looking at some of these prices on some of these BMWs and the mileage, and it's scaring me because they under 100,000. Yeah, BMWs, unfortunately, and even from the little bit of personal experience I had... Just have some money saved up for maintenance, because I don't know.
That's exactly what it was. I think it was an M4, and it's definitely 6 figs.
Yeah, brand new one, absolutely. 1,000%. Because I was looking, because I thought I wanted a convertible.
I still do, but I think I want like the vintage ones now at this point. Like I am obsessed with like watching like early like 2000s movies so much because it's comforting and it's nostalgia. But there's a Volkswagen Volkswagen Cabriolet.
What? Hold on.
I think that's what it is.
Volkswagen. What's it called? Cabriolet. What is it? What type of vehicle is it?
I think it's the Volkswagen Cabriolet convertible. I think it's so cute.
Ericca, if you don't, that car look like a damn roach, yo. Hold on.
I'll be damned.
It's just me. And then also, I really want, oh my gosh, it's like 2 cars old. I know I can probably not in this lifetime, babes, but the vintage Bronco, oh my gosh.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. And when I see it, I see myself and I see my Cane Corso riding shotgun, my cat Tootie in the backseat and her carrier, and we just cruising on PCH.
I'll be damned.
I'm reclaiming the time of the podcast. I'm not doing this with you anymore. All right, y'all. This won't take long. Our actual topics. Actual topic, because I know Ericca doesn't have headlines and neither do I.
No,
I gave y'all
thank
one.
you.
Trump is charging 25% tax tariffs on cars, and if you don't understand tariffs are what the importer or the importee, whoever's given whoever imports something, they got to pay these taxes, and they pass the costs on to us, which means items that have tariffs on them are going to be more expensive for us here when we get ready to go and purchase them. So buckle up. So the topic I wanted to touch on was things we've learned about the opposite sex based on, you know, our experiences with them, whether that be romantic relationships or platonic relationships. And I sparked that because I'm in a new relationship, which I've talked about. And when I think about me and my girlfriend's interactions, it's very, it's a very, I don't even know the word. It's very easy, if that makes sense. Like, it's kind of like at this age now, me being 40, her in her late 30s, it's like you are over, at least us, because of the way we've grown up and like the shit we've been through, we're over a lot of the bullshit. So we just get right to it. And we just have open and honest, easy conversations. And I know that that is not the norm at all. That has not been my experience in any other relationship either. There were a lot of other things I had to deal with. So I'm going to start with number one for me. The number one thing I've learned about... This is interesting. This is the number one thing I've learned about women. My girlfriend has really highlighted this. All of you, and I don't say this lightly, all of you have way more in common as far as like traits. You can call it... what's the word I'm looking for? Like, you know how people like make blanket statements about genders? Like,
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Generalizing.
yes. A lot of those generalizations, y'all have a lot of that in common. Like y'all really, really do. There are just things that women do that y'all just do it across the board. And I'm not saying that to be offensive, but what I noticed is y'all all have these traits and characteristics, but the important thing is seeing how she handles it. Like, your girl at some point is going to be talkative. She's going to have her cycle. She's going to have moods. Like, she's going to have these things, like certain things associated with women. She's going to have a damsel in distress moment and want you to do something that you know she could very well do. She's going to have a I need to have it my way type of day. Even when you tell her no. Like, these things are going to happen. But what's important is, how does she actually handle it? Like, how does she actually handle it when these things happen? Is she bratty? Is she mature? Is she closed off? Like, does she acknowledge her feelings? Does she not acknowledge the feelings? Does she take responsibility? Does she blame you? Like, those things and seeing how she handles it have just comforted my entire soul. Like... I'm like, you handle a lot of things very well. Like, you do the woman stuff, which is expected because you a woman. But I'm like, yo, you handle stuff well, and you are willing to admit, and you're honest that, yeah, that's, you know I know what this is and what this sound like, but you know, it is what it is, and I appreciate it. I appreciate people who can own up to what they're thinking and feeling. So yes, that is one thing that I've learned. Oh, Ericca about to cook us, y'all. I'm just gonna...
I'll be there. I'll be there.
I was truly just sitting here. I said, okay, now what can I say?
I didn't say it had to be positive. Even though we promote positivity on this show.
We do, but we're real. We're very much real and authentic.
That's a fact.
Okay, so I will say maybe a generalization, I don't know. But what I've come across with my personal relationships, whether romantic, platonic, or anything, is a lot of guys, they like to say, they do like to say that, oh, like, I'm a guy, like this, that, the third, processing emotions, everything like that. I realize a lot of you guys don't actually... You say it, but you actually can't regulate your emotions, and you actually show it more than anything without even realizing. It shows. Like, it shows. It shows in your body language. It shows in your face. It shows in your tone. It shows. Like, it is something that it's so easy to pick up. It's like, oh, are you mad? No, I'm not mad. He mad.
We have attitudes. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
it's like, I feel like that is one that I feel like maybe gets overlooked a little bit because I know that women are seen as like dramatic or emotional, but guys, oh my gosh, little temper tantrums every now and then too.
Absolutely. I'm
Yeah.
one of them.
Yeah. I have noticed that between all my friends, like, wow, I said, does someone need to take a nap and have a cookie?
Yeah.
But yeah.
I could go for a nap and a cookie right now, actually. That's a good combination, yo. Not the toddler.
He's like, you legit got true. Like, they thought, like, oh, does someone want a juice box?
That's wild, yo. A nap and a cookie.
I was like, oh, is it time for animal crackers and a treat and a story?
That is nuts.
That is something that I have come across. I'm like, okay. I was like, I've seen it with like my dad. I've seen it with my friends. I've seen it with my exes. I'm like, okay. It's like you guys have not baby moments, but yeah. It's like where it's like it's the shoes on the other foot almost. Even though you say that you aren't emotional, but yeah.
You know what's funny? I'm gonna shoot both genders some bail. I think part of the reason women are so outspoken now, I said what I said, yeah, sis, all this other stuff, is because y'all been suppressed and oppressed for so long and you couldn't say anything. There's that. And I think dudes, we're quiet because, or we don't know how to regulate or express our emotions because we're toxic with one another. Like, dudes would be quick to call you a bitch or all this other stuff for just simply expressing yourself or having a feeling about something. It's like, no, bro, you're a human being. We are made to feel. Like,
yeah, not a robot.
Right, it's normal. So when you've never been given the space to express yourself and have anyone actually listen and care, you don't say anything because you figure, well, nobody's gonna care anyway, so what's the point? But unfortunately, that's when you begin to suppress the feelings, and then that's when that internal damage starts, and then you don't know how to regulate your emotions. That's part of the reason why I think young dudes are killing each other. Like, back in my day, like, if there was an issue, you either crack jokes on each other, you had a fist fight, that was it. Like, I never
other
thought
violence.
and I've had a couple fights in my life, but I never thought about killing anybody, especially not as a kid.
Yeah.
Like, these are kids out here doing it. And I'm like, nah, bro, like, it ain't that serious. But, like, yeah. So that's part of it. It's like, I'm angry. I don't know how to talk about it. No one's going to listen to me, so I'm just going to act out. But, yeah, I do wish it's two-sided. You know, ladies, actually, one, listen and own up to your stuff. You know when you're being a jerk and you know when you're pushing buttons. But, brothers, you got to say something. Like, say something, because if you don't say anything, you can't hold the person accountable for how you're feeling. But once you express, hey, what you did made me feel like this, so I need a minute, seeing how they react will tell you all you need to know about your relationship with that person. Because once I see you don't care, then I'm definitely not going to talk to you. I'm definitely not going to invest any more time into you, because you've already shown me that what I have to say about my thoughts and feelings and how I feel doesn't matter to you. But yeah, we got to stop that, because I've seen it too, and it is very weird. I used to do it. I don't do it anymore because I've just learned that I need to express myself and then see the person's reaction, and they show me that they don't care. I know that's just not someone I need to be dealing with, because I'm not going to be a robot for anybody.
Yeah, and also it's like you're not really being authentic to who you are. You're still hiding yourself from someone that's supposed to know everything about you, who's
Right.
supposed to be your life partner. So absolutely.
Well,
One of the
oh, go ahead.
things, sorry. One of the things I will say, and it may tie to this, but it's not a bad thing. It's just something that I have noticed is that a lot of guys, they need to have that feeling that they're needed. You know,
That feels
yeah, it does something for them where it's like, I don't know how to describe it, but say like you're like 100% independent And most of the times most women are, but you still need to like throw something out basically to let them know that it's like, hey, I want you, I need you, like come back, come hither, you're not just there, but basically just to make them feel like they're serving a purpose outside of just romantic or anything like that. Because I mean, I think for a lot of guys, they want to feel as if they are playing that role. That's like, no, like I'm the provider, everything like that. So I do see that a lot.
That's an interesting one. I was raised like that, right?
Yeah.
But you learn that there needs to be balance. That type of relationship where I am today, I don't see that working for me unless like I double my income.
Mhm. Times is hard out here.
Bruh, it's freaking expensive out here. But also I learned that unfortunately women will take advantage of that. They'll take advantage like, oh, you want to be needed? Okay, well I need this, and this. And you got to be careful with that. So like for me, it's about balance. Like my girlfriend, she's independent. But I know that, and I don't, without trying, I know that as a man, and that's the other thing too, you got to understand yourself as a man. I don't care how independent you are. Things are different when you're in a relationship. That person is fulfilling a need that you can't fulfill for yourself when you're single. Like, that's why you even want to be in a relationship. They're bringing something. They're bringing that comfort, whether that's cuddles, whether that's someone you can talk to, whether that's the other perspective, whether that's feeling more safe and secure physically, mentally, financially. Like, there are so many things. You don't have to actually act to do anything, fellas. Just your presence and the benefits that you bring with your life and your lifestyle to the relationship. And same thing for her. That's like the basis of everything. Anybody can, I mean, hell, we can call 1-800 anything and get someone to fix stuff or physically do stuff for us, but can you fulfill that emotional space? Like, and are you likable? You know what I'm saying? Are you funny? Are you charming? Are you creative? Are you easy to get along with? Like, you gotta be real careful with always trying to provide. Like, that's not a bad thing, but it can become toxic. But also, some people use that as a form of control.
Yeah.
So, if that works for you, do it. But just one, make sure you're not being taken advantage of, because it's like my girl now is like, we're looking at how we complement each other. I'm like, hey, these are the things I'm good at. This is what I like to do. Like, what are you good at? What do you like to do? Okay, well, when we get in closer proximity or we decide to cohabitate, let's talk about these things. Maybe you handle the finances and maybe I handle this. Like, that's how I look at it. I don't look at it like, well, I'm the man, so I'm doing this. Like, bro, like if she is more equipped and more skilled than you at doing something and can do a better job than you, let her do it. Like, let her do it. Why
it's
are you
not
making
a dig?
Right? It's like, why are you you're making things harder. But again, the respect has to be there on both ends. You shouldn't make someone feel less than or put them down because, oh, well, I'm smarter than you in this area or I'm better than you in this area, so I'm handling it because you ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like, but the other thing too is like, don't just hand these things over. Learn. Hey, you're like my girl. She loves vacations. I'm not a fan of booking travel. I don't mind traveling. I like traveling. I'm going somewhere soon with her. But that's her thing. She's traveled. She's been many places. So I'm like, all right, cool. If we go on trips every year, like, you book them. Just tell me how much. We'll put our money wherever we need to put it. I'll let you book it. You tell me when I need to click the button.
Itinerary.
Yeah, like you just tell me when. And then, eventually I'll say, okay, well, sit me down and walk me through the process so you won't always have to do it, so I can actually learn how to do it too. That's why I think people kind of lose it. They lose it they just put 100% of the responsibility on someone without ever bringing the partner aspect of it. I went on a tangent. But I really felt what you're saying. Like, people feel like they need to fulfill this role. It's like, no, like, look at who you are as a person and play to your strengths. And don't be afraid to talk about your strengths and weaknesses with someone, because you want someone that's going to compliment you.
Yeah, it's not a one size fits all. Like, you saw it work for someone else, it's gonna work for you. No,
Absolutely
because not every relationship is gonna be the same.
Nope.
And also, a lot of people have control issues.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Women. What have I learned about you? Mm. Ah. Y'all. Hmm. Y'all do not do well with being alone.
Mm.
Not for long, not for too long. Y'all like to get back out there. Y'all like to get back out there. Y'all like the company, and I ain't saying y'all might not even want to be in a relationship. Y'all like the proximity and company. Y'all love the companionship. Like, and I get that. I can't tell any stories because most of my close friends are women. But I've gotten some phone calls and I've gotten some breakdown cries. I've gotten some, I just want to be with somebody. And these are some of the independent, great career, got the money. You can pretty much, you living a good life, but you lonely as hell still with all the accolades because you want that companionship. We want it too, but I just think overall we're just more simple creatures. Like in between every relationship I've had, there's been at least a 2 or 3 year gap where I've dated nobody, not even trying to holler at women, just focus on myself and enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoyed eating all my snacks and playing my video games without having to plan a date, without having to go out anywhere, without having to have a conversation. I love it. I love isolation. I ain't gonna lie. I love isolation. And that's one of the things I love about my girlfriend now. She will read her book and I'll play Xbox and we ain't gotta say a word to each other. We can just be in each other's space and that's good enough for her. I love that I can have that, still maintain kind of like that solitude, and so can she. But that's something I noticed. I think y'all really do struggle with it. And I don't think that's a bad thing because I'm one of the people that believes that we need each other. As much as
Yeah.
people try to say, "Oh, I don't need a man, I don't need a women," it's BS. We are literally designed for each other. That's where procreation comes from. The world would literally end if we decide to stop being with each other because there'd be no more new children. Yeah, and it feels good to be with someone. Like it feels good to have someone you can crack those jokes with and come home to and talk to and just know that you feel safe and comfortable with them and have someone provide these special things for you and have that person. Like that shit feels good. So I do understand missing it because I miss it too, but I've just noticed that for me, just speaking with my homegirls, y'all do sometimes have a very tough time with that.
Yeah. And I think it's also like maybe it's also the way that women are raised too.
Mm,
I feel in a way
mm,
plays a big part in that because it's like you're raised to like always look out for someone, to always be caring for someone, tending to someone. So then when it's just you on your like by yourself, you're just like, who am like you're never taught to like care or do that for yourself. It's always just like, okay, who am I doing this for? And almost like also eh, I feel like sometimes with women, we're also raised for that end goal be all of marriage, companionship, everything. So
yep.
when everything else is in place and that's not, you just hyper focus and hyper fixate on it, and you're just
Mm-hmm.
like, what's going on? What's wrong with me? What's this? Like, when is it going to happen? When is it my turn? When is it my turn? And also, when you have like that looming, like the clock's running out, like, I want to have this, I want to have this done by
Mm-hmm.
this age, I can't do it and everything like that. So I feel like that also plays such a big part in it,
It
unfortunately.
does.
So I definitely agree with it because I'm like listening to my one friend. I'm just like, girl, just relax, calm down. You're young and turn, relax.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
You know, oh, Kevin Samuels, you were right about so many things. You know, that the way y'all are raised and taught, oh, find a man, be a wife,
Hmm.
make a home, blah, blah, blah. We're not raised like that at all. We're taught to go get a good job and make good money. And you'll attract a woman, which seems to be very prevalent now. um, you have to decide on what you want. And you have to also, I think, what's been missing is no one has really talked to us, and I'm speaking for my generation. No one actually talked to us about like planning that out. Like you just say, "Go get a husband." Like, what does that
What does
look
that
like?
mean?
What is a good man? How should I be treated? What are some of the traits I should look for? Not the generic stuff, but like, what are some of the deep things you really need to be looking for? And then one thing that I think women suffered through, in my opinion, was and why a lot of relationships end is they find the man's good enough to get married, but they're unhappy.
Yeah,
Right.
because they're told to like just get them.
Yeah, and so when they read the vows, it don't say nothing about happiness. So
No,
that's that's
they
something.
don't.
Yeah, that's something you gotta. So in that relationship, you gotta be honest. So that's the other thing. I mean, at the end of the day, I know I mentioned Kevin Samuels and people cringe, but at the end of the day, you have to take the time. You don't have to, but take some time to discover who you are and the things that you need and the things that are essential to you as a person. Like you should be able to make yourself happy first, right? And then say to yourself when you start getting with someone, or let them know, hey, this is who I am. These are the things that make me happy. Can you see our life? Tell me, answer these questions for me. Like, what makes you happy? Who are you? And then y'all have to decide: are these things going to work together? Like, some of them may have to go. But it's a trade off. You have a lot of benefits as a single person, but you have a lot of benefits being in a relationship. There are trade offs. Some of those things fall by the wayside, but they're replaced by something new. And I don't think people think about that. And yes, I get time is a thing. Like you want to have babies by a certain time. If you want to have kids, biological clock, la la la. I get it. I get it. It can be a lot of pressure and it can be scary. And y'all don't have the same amount of options that we have either. Factually, that's just a fact. Y'all don't have as many options. Especially the ones y'all probably might want, which is, typically an educated man with making a decent living. Like, good luck.
Making the same level.
Good luck. That's why a lot of times, like, they tell you, like, in college and right after college, you got to see them for 4 years. You looking at, quote unquote, prime pickings. You know what I'm saying? They here. They educated. You know a little bit about their reputation. You probably got to spend more uninterrupted time with them than you probably will as an adult. But yeah, it's tough. It's definitely tough when you're raised a certain way because, certain things were instilled in me that I had to get rid of because I'm like, that don't serve me. I get it, but I'm like, that don't work for me. I don't want to do that. But, you find out later in life. So I just say, love yourself. It is okay to focus on yourself, but be honest with yourself and say, you know what? Ooh, I do want a family. So even if it's, hey, Rob, I like you. You're a handsome guy. You're funny. But I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I am focused on my career. I do want to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 before I start having kids. Will that work for you? Can we do this together? Can we try this? Instead of automatically assuming that maybe you need to put your head down and run and get all these accolades and then try to find a man after. Like, I think there are plenty of people out there that will understand that have that drive, especially if you find someone who understands drive like me. Like I understand drive and pivoting and those changes and the ups and downs and you being busy and not having time for me because I've done it. I get it. I can rock with you through that. You know what I'm saying? And then I also know how to stop and say, hey, we said we're going to do this by this time. It's not happening. We need to revisit the conversation. But those aren't things you learn until you're burned a few times. You know what I'm saying? Communication be breaking down. So there's a lot of different ways you can do it. And I would say give people more of a chance, guys and girls. Like, I know you out here trying to achieve stuff, but you'd be surprised at how many people like, you know what? You got the opportunity overseas. Can I come with you? I mean, let's focus on you for the next couple years, and then it'll be my turn. Like, let's try it. It could very well work, or the one might do so well that it's like, hey, yo, you can keep chilling. Like, this is enough to take care of us. You can keep chilling. Let's pivot. Like, but nobody wants to do that. I think everybody is so independent. Men and women, we're so independent, and it's me, 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 me. And there's nothing wrong with building a good foundation for yourself. But it's like being with someone else, you got to be more open. You got to have an open mindset because you're combining a life with someone. They're bringing all their stuff just like you're bringing all your stuff. So
that tunnel vision. See the big picture.
Exactly. If that's what you want.
If that's what you want.
If that's what you want.
If it's not, take your toe out the water.
Yeah. Some people don't want it. Some people don't want it. All right, one more. Give me one more. I'm gonna give you one more, and I'm not getting on no more soapboxes, y'all. We gotta get up out of here. I gotta go to bed. I gotta go to work in the morning. I'm off on Friday.
Oh, congrats! I took off next Friday. I said,
nice.
I said oil change and treating myself to breakfast.
And you know what? I'm gonna treat myself to breakfast.
Yeah, you should. Dude, table for one, please. I know the Bills gotta eat first. And man, they got a big old appetite. I ain't gonna lie. Big back. But
where's my
I'll be damned.
But okay, so my last one I would like to say probably is, I don't know if it's a lot of guys that do this or not, but that feign in a way or act as if they don't know what their intentions or like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like, and it's not like there's different ways I can go about it where it's like it's not negative, but it's like when they say, "Oh, I didn't know." You knew because you're a person, you're a human, you think. And I feel like I see that a lot more with men than I do with women in a way, where it's a lot of that. And I don't know if it's because of like the image that you like have of yourself, if you don't want someone to look at you in a different type of light. I don't know if it's something that you're just trying to push or shield or anything, if that goes along with like your emotions and being vulnerable or anything like that. But a lot of guys I do know, and I'm probably wording this terribly, but it's like they say or they feign like that ignorance, and it's like, no, like, you know. And it's like I look into your eyes and I'm like, that is a man who knows. Like, you know what I mean?
I'll be damned.
And it's not a bad thing, but it's like, bro, take the mask off. Why are you lying to me? Like, you're not good liars.
You know what? My girlfriend said something to me a couple weeks ago. She said, you give people too much credit.
Mm-hmm.
With what you're talking about, I've experienced that with a lot of women actually, and they've come to regret it years later. The only thing you can do, y'all, when it comes to what Ericca is talking about, men and women,
and it's with any type of situation, I'll say that too.
One, make sure you express yourself. One, make sure you express yourself clearly, like explicitly. Hey, ABC made me feel like this, and I want what comes after C? DFG with you.
DEF.
Or DEF. What did I say? This is why I ain't a teacher no more. Yes. ABC makes me feel this way, and this is how I'm thinking. DEF is my final conclusion and how I see you fitting into this. How do you feel about that? When you express yourself clearly, and you ask them, do you understand what I'm saying? And they hit you with the, I don't know, I'm unsure. You have two options. You can give them time to give you a real answer, or you can give them time to give you a real answer when you're not around. Hey, you know what? Since you're unsure, you know, when you figure that out, holla at me, but I'm going to be over here doing this because I can't wait around for this. Like, unfortunately, you just got to hold people accountable. Like, you just got to say it. Even if it's, I'm sorry, y'all, the fairy tale thing, yada, yada, yada. Like, every relationship I've been in, I've always said I love you first. All of them. You know, nobody ever wants to say it first. No. Like, and I don't even care if they love me back or not. I just want you to, right, I want to get it off and let you know that this is how I'm feeling. So it's off me. I'm not holding anything back from you. But also, now that I've said it, now I get to see how things continue to progress. To see if, okay, they know I love them. You know, I guess I'll find out sooner or later whether or not they love me back. And maybe I'll even ask after a while, you know. But you got to say it, man. You got to say something. Like, you cannot expect a person... Because like Ericca said, sometimes they just faking, right? But in some situations, they really don't know because they don't have the experience.
Yeah.
Like that, yeah.
It's like, and it's like, not to just make it like something that's like for romantic relationships, but like even like with your friends, like you ask them a question, like, well, I don't know. It's like, no, you know. I said, because you wouldn't respond that way unless you like, you felt like, you know what I mean? It's like, no, speak up, say it with your chest. Like, you know, it's like, don't feign or like, just don't fake something because you want to appease someone.
Yes.
You know, like, you know how you feel deep down. Like, if someone approached you and said, so tell me, do you do this, that, and the third? And you know, sure, well, you don't do it. Why you lie? Why you say, oh, I think, maybe, possibly. No, just be honest, be upfront. And I don't know if it's just saving face or not, but just be authentic. And I have heard and seen from some women too. I will say that. But it's like, just everyone, please.
Saving face, fear, embarrassment.
Embarrassments. Like, no, it's like if you have people who are supposed to be around you, whether it's relationship or platonic or anything like that, who are supposed to be in your corner, if you are authentic with them, they will be in your corner. If you're authentic with them and they don't want to be in your corner, they're not your people. They're not your people.
There you go. There you go. This is my last one. I'm not gonna give a last one. I'm ready to go. Message to the brothers.
To the brothers.
Yo, you killing me with that,
yo. You missed it last week.
Brothers, this is a you supposed to do that in the intro part. You can't be doing the jokes when I'm yo. If we grew up in the same era, we probably would have been best friends, yo. You were a doof, yo. Brothers, this is a short, sweet, and simple, man. Number one, if you haven't already, check out FME_podcast and look at my positive vibe of the week, where I drop gems on just things to be mindful of. Two things. One, on the subject of this episode, really sit back, man, and decide what you want when it comes to women, if you date women, or your relationship, rather. I can't speak on alternative lifestyle relationships because I don't understand those. I don't know the dynamics and I don't know the difference. Don't have that experience. But for men who date women, decide on what you truly want. Sit back, reflect on those past relationships, and pull apart, you know, what you truly learned about women, what you've learned about yourself, the role they played in the relationship ending, the role you played in the relationship ending, and go about your business like that with the newly informed mind, instead of running in the same cycle or continuing to be in denial. Like, I've always been intentional. I've always wanted to be married and have kids since I was young, and I've just never gotten there, just because I was not the best at choosing partners, and I was also trying to break poor habits in regards to the way I was raised and things that were put into my mind, ways I thought I needed to behave or should behave. But the reason I was able to get out of it is because I took the time to reflect and say, you know what? I didn't like that version of me. I didn't like this. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. How can I control that? Oh, I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that's a little scary. Women don't expect that of me, or do they? Let me try it. And then when you try it, you realize, oh, shoot, like, there are women out here who accept that. There are women out here who appreciate that. I feel good. They feel good. It's working. Okay, I like this new norm. You ain't gonna know unless you try. Like, you're gonna have to run into some failures, but you're gonna.
It's true.
But you gotta try.
True. Yeah.
And lastly, so in the positive vibe this week, what did I say in the positive vibe?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hold on. So, like, when life gets stressful, right? Sometimes the first thing we put down are the things that are making us feel the best. And I spoke about this 2 episodes ago. I'm back in the gym. My chest is sore right now. I always feel good to the gym. I feel good going to the gym. I can't think of a time in the last 3-4 years where I've left the gym feeling worse. I've always felt better. But when I get stressed or overwhelmed, one of the first things I do is stop going to the gym. And there's a lot of other things that I'll pick up, like stress eating, sleeping more, not focusing on, work, personal work and business because, my mindset, like, it's not going to come out good when I'm stressed. Like, I'm trying to get out of the habit of doing that and saying, okay, I'm stressed. Let me go to the gym more. Let me not pick up these other bad comfort habits and stick with what has already been working. And sometimes it takes a while to snap out of it. Like, it's freaking April and I'm back in the gym. I ain't been to, and I look, because I track my, I make a little note about the exercises that I did, and that thing said January, and I said, ooh! I said, it's been a lot longer than I thought. But hold on to your good habits, man. Like, when you're stressed and overwhelmed, like, don't put down those good habits. Say no to those other things. You know what I'm saying? Say no when someone tries to come take more of your time, effort, and energy. Like, turn that stuff down and hold on to those good, healthy habits that you already have. Do not let the stress and strain break your healthy routine. All right? And that's all we got for you. That's all we got for you, man. Thank y'all for joining us once again. Thank y'all for listening to our rant about cars. If you have a new car or you have to buy a new car or used car, I'm going to pray for you because it is wild out here. Wild. I was at that Kia dealership when I dropped my car off to get fixed. I ain't seen nothing under $40,000. Nothing. Yeah, nothing. Them Sportages was looking nice. That price tag at 38, 39. I say, yeah, when they add them taxes and fees, you're gonna be about 45, 46. Yeah. It ain't pretty, man. It ain't pretty. And do your research too, man. Some of these cars ain't good either.
No.
Like, there's like a thing going, I think it was I can't remember. It was one of these SUVs. Dude was like, yeah, these are junk. His car had like 19,000 miles, and it was like, like you could hear the engine ticking. It was bad, bro. So just be careful, y'all. But yeah, Ericca, you got any parting words for the people?
If you get your car wrapped, please send a picture to us at admin@fmepodcast.com. I'm looking for ideas. Thank you.
Until next time, take care of yourselves physically, mentally, and financially. We'll catch y'all. Peace.
Bye-bye.